That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sunday Fun Day, and we are live in the alley with Billy Trzynski and Josh Savali. Let's go, Buffalo! It's Sunday afternoon here in the alley. The Wolfman is you at downtown Brewcomb Valley. Prognostication, hilarious jokes. So grab your beer, we're so glad you're here. We're live in the alley.
What week is it? 17. Welcome to week 17 of Live in the Alley. Right, Josh? He's looking a little thin today. Josh is out with the sniffles, everyone. So if you see Josh, tell him to feel better. And yeah, and if you see him out, tell him to go home because he's sick. What is not sick is the fact that, well, let's just put it this way. There was never a doubt in last week's Bills-Patriots game, right? Never a doubt, never a time where we felt like they might lose to the lowly Patriots and not make it through, on week 16 in a home game against a divisional opponent. But not to fear, James Cook is here. Because if Allen doesn't produce, at least the running backs are there. And Jim Rush, you can walk through the front. You need to be on TV. Oh, come on. Well, tie your shoes next time. Like I said, never fear. James Cook is here. Even with Allen having a down game, which he did. He threw an arm punt interception, which was fine, but not a great day from him. 160 yards, a TD to James Cook. James Cook goes for 100 yards again, third time in 4 games. He's tied for the NFL lead in rushing touchdowns with 14, with the names of Derrick Henry, Jalen Hurts, who won't get one today because he ain't playing, and Kyren Williams. I mean, how many did Cook have last year? 4? I mean, to go plus 10 on that is incredible. Also, Allen not far behind in rushing touchdowns either. But, I mean, if you can't do it, this is the thing I think a lot of people feared in the past with the Allen Buffalo Bills. If Allen doesn't do it, who will? This year is the strongest proof that the surrounding cast is good enough that if Allen's not the superstar on the field, you have James Cook and you have Ty Johnson and you have Ray Davis to bail him out. And if the defense only gave up 21 points on Sunday, you're going to win most of those games. When your quarterback's not playing great, you need help. The Bills got help last week. And that's what good teams with a bad shooting and a couple spots can overcome that. And that's exactly what the Bills did last week against New England. With a win today, lock up the 2 seed. That would be cool. If Denver would have done their damn job last night, that would have been locked up. It would have been Denver at Buffalo as long as Buffalo wins today in week 1. But there's so many scenarios now where if Cincinnati wins out and Denver loses out and the Colts lose 1 of 2 and Miami loses 1 of 2, Cincinnati gets in. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to see Joe Burrow, who's thrown for 42 touchdowns this season and almost a lost season for Cincinnati, come to Highmark Stadium. I certainly don't. Also, with last week's win, they had a 14-point deficit for the Bills. Second time this year they come back from 14 down to win the game. They've done it twice this year. That's the most in the NFL. And it's the most amount of times the Bills have done that since 2011, come back from a 14-point deficit to win. So that's pretty cool if you want to look at it that way. They won. With a win today, the Bills would go 8-0 at home, which would be only the 3rd time that the Bills have ever been undefeated at home during the regular season. The last times being 1988, which, the Ronnie Harmon year, and 1990, go figure, they were really good in that stretch. But none of the other years. They didn't even win the division in all of the Super Bowl years. We've won 5 in a row. And we are, how many division games you play? We're 4-0 in the division. Looking to go, 5-0 today, 6-0 next week for another division sweep. That'd be pretty cool too. So a lot on the line, though, in the sense of win today, lock down the 2 seed. Next week becomes a Mitchell Trubisky game. If you don't have the 1 seed, don't have the bye, you need an opportunity to find a way to get your guys some rest coming down the stretch. You know, a lot of NFL players say, coming down the stretch, what do you want? More than anything else, we want a little time off. We want a little bit of a break. Let's recoup. Let's get healthier. So a win today gives the Bills that opportunity to be in the driver's seat no matter who comes to Buffalo the first weekend of the playoffs. I think that's huge for them. They need a strong game to close it out. Unfortunately, I was really, really hoping for finally the Josh Allen MVP year. I thought last year he should have won it. Didn't. Lamar won it. Christmas Day, Lamar goes off, kind of brings himself right up neck and neck with Allen for the MVP race. Allen has a substandard game last week. This week, come out, have a great showing, seal the deal on the MVP, seal the deal on the number 2 seed, put the Jets to bed. I know they've been to bed, but as far as we're concerned, put them, ground the Jets, whatever you got to do, and just end the regular season at home in a big way and just take care of business. Stay healthy, take care of business. You're getting a little healthier. DeMar Hamlin's the only starter that's still really out, and Curtis Samuel, but Milano's back in. Rasul Douglas is healthy again, so that should help out, especially, and Jim will allude to it, the passing game for the Jets has been a little bit better the last couple weeks. Not great, but what you may have expected all season long from a 4-win team that should have been a little bit better than they are. So without further ado, we got the Bills covered there. The Jets are in town. Let's get Jim's perspective, unfortunately, on the Bills' opponent today, the New Jersey Jets. It's time for Jives with Jimmer.
It's time for Jives with Jim.
It's time for Jives. Ooh, here's Jimmer. He's a really cool guy.
Thank you very much for that intro, Billy.
Hey, all right. All right, give us the lowdown on the down low.
A lot more down low than low down. Jets and Bills last met week 6, 6 days after then head coach Robert Saleh, after posting a 20-36 record with the Jets, was fired. The Jets did not get the victory from new interim coach Jeff Ulbrich, as they lost 23-20, leaving them at 2-4. We had 2 missed field goals by Jets kicker Greg Zuerlein, but in all fairness, Tyler Bass did miss the field goal and extra points, so I got to mention that.
Mm-hmm.
Final nail in the coffin for the Jets is when the Bills intercepted Aaron Rodgers at the Buffalo 18 with 2:01 left in the game.
And that was Taron Johnson's first game back since being injured early in the season. The difference maker against a good quarterback.
Let's take a look at some other lowlights and blunders
Oh,
for the
geez.
2024 Jets since then.
I feel like this is NFL Films, The Follies.
Oh, strap yourself in. Week 7 at Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson's first start for the Steelers. Jets have a 15-6 second quarter lead. Then watch as Pittsburgh scores 31 unanswered to win 37-15. In the game, 2 Aaron Rodgers interceptions and another missed field goal. Jets 2-5. Week 8 at New England. Jets up 22-17 in the fourth quarter. New England goes 70 yards in 12 plays for a game-winning touchdown with 21 seconds left. Patriots win 25-22.
Was that Drake May or Brissett in that game?
Drake May replaced Brissett. Jets lose despite not turning the ball over in the game and holding New England to less than 250 yards total offense.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah, another missed field goal, too.
Oh, by the way.
Jets 2-6.
Is this all Zuerlein?
He was in and out. I think since week 8. I think that was his last game.
Multiple
got hurt.
kickers missing multiple chances.
Week 9, Thursday night against Houston. VICTORY. That was the Jets' battle cry. As they played probably the best game of the season, winning at home on Thursday night versus the Texans 21-13. Although after watching Houston get destroyed by Baltimore,
Yeah.
that kind of takes some of the luster off that.
Don't worry. The Bills also lost to Houston, and they're like, it is one of those how kind of game, looking later in the season.
That put the Jets at 3-6. Week 10 at Arizona. The Jets, after coming off 10 days rest, the mini bye for playing the previous Thursday, allowed the Cardinals to score on their first 5 possessions. 4 touchdowns and a field goal, finally forcing an Arizona punt with 11:48 to go in the fourth quarter. Jets defense credited with 20 missed tackles for the game.
Yikes. Ouch.
Where was the Jets offense? Good question, as they can only imagine 2 field goals. Final score, Arizona 31, Jets 6, Jets 3-7. Week 11 versus the Colts. Jets up 27-22, 2:41 left in the game. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson back in the starting lineup after being benched for 2 games. Takes the Colts 70 yards in 6 plays and scores the winning touchdown with 1:55 left. Colts win 28-27. Jets 3-8.
That's a comeback from a guy who can't complete over 55% of his passes. Yikes.
Don't worry, he was playing the Jets.
That's right.
After that game was the firing of GM Joe Douglas. Douglas had been GM since 2019. A lot of your pundits were like, how can you fire him? He assembled this great lineup. Well, that great lineup was 30-64 with him.
You know, and a lot of that, it harkens to like almost like the Redskins days with Daniel Snyder. Get the best you can get, but it ain't shit if the team can't play together.
If they can't gel. It's like the Eagles about 10 years ago when they had their version of the Dream Team. Yeah.
Yeah. And
they
what'd you get?
collapsed. They were like 7-9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Week 12 was a bye week. Week 13 versus Seattle. Jets up 21-7 in the second quarter, had the ball 3rd and 7 at the Seattle 9. Aaron Rodgers is picked off. Seahawks take the interception 92 yards to the house for a pick 6. Jets up 21-19 in the fourth, end up losing 26-21. Jets 3-9. Week 14 at Miami. Jets up 23-15 to start the fourth.
Oh.
Game ends up 26-26 at end of regulation. We head to overtime. We're on the opening possession. Dolphins go 70 yards, 8 plays for a 32-21 win. Jets 3-10. Week 15 versus Jacksonville. Total reversal.
Yeah.
Jets down at the half, 13-7, but then outscore the Jags in the second half, 25-12, 32-25 lead. Jets 4-10.
So what you're saying is if they have the lead at the half, it's over.
They're done.
Yeah.
Then there was last week versus the Rams. Back to the norm. They have a 9-6 lead going into the fourth. They allow LA to score 2 field goals and a touchdown in the final quarter. But the Jets have an Aaron Rodgers fumble, a missed field goal, and a muff punt. Once again, all in the final quarter, giving the Rams a 19-9 win. Number of times the Jets punted in this game? 0.
Oh.
Going into last week, there have been 8 teams that had 0 punts this season. Those 8 average 31.3 points per game. Let that sink in. Jets, 0 punts. Only scored on 2 drives, that being a touchdown with, of course, a missed extra point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Throw
a
that
field
in there
goal.
for fun.
9 points. So for the game, they had 2 turnovers, 3 failed fourth down attempts, and that missed field goal in the fourth quarter.
Oh, my goodness.
The only lower mark in NFL history for a team with no punts came in a game in 1991 when the Colts did not punt but missed 4 field goals in a 16-7 loss to New England.
Jesus.
This season, the Jets have a total of 6 losses when leading in the fourth quarter, a league high. 4th most penalized team in the league, which they are tied with Detroit for most pass interference calls and tied for 2nd in the league with being offsides with a slew of other teams.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of the offsides thing this year.
And for good measure, let's throw in 33 drop passes. That's 2nd to only Cleveland with 37.
Well, they didn't want to catch the ball from Deshaun to start the season.
No, they didn't. But. So here we are, a team that started the season with playoff aspirations, sitting at 4-11, only ahead of the 3-12, now 3-13
Oh, no,
Patriots
those
in
are
the
important.
AFC East.
Shit.
Little windy out here, folks.
Wow.
We're going to look at some of the players. Starting, of course, with Aaron Rodgers. He's only passed for more than 300 yards once this season. Well, 5 games, he didn't even break 200.
Yeah.
He is yet to lead the Jets to a win when they have trailed in the fourth quarter.
Thank you. Let's put these right back here. No.
He has stated that if he is going to play for another year, his first choice would be for the Jets, and he would be willing to mentor a new quarterback.
Whoever might be the backup or the new guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Will the new head coach and GM even want him back? So let's face it, the Aaron Rodgers and Friends 2024 North American Tour here has not really been a success. Brings the question, who else are you going to get?
Right.
I don't see Josh Allen leaving the Bills. I don't see Lamar Jackson coming. I don't see Patrick Mahomes coming. You're going to get Kirk Cousins.
There it is, Kirk. I don't know, Derek Carr. I mean, your
Derek
guys.
Carr, Jameis Winston.
But those are all your under. Like, you can't get a solid replacement level quarterback to start in the NFL right now. It seems
No, you
like
can't.
even when you think you can, they flame out. Like, Kirk Cousins is a perfect example. Derek Carr is a perfect example, even with talent around him.
Even the draft class coming out.
Yeah.
Cam Ward, Shador Sanders.
Yep.
Those are consensus 2 top quarterbacks. they would have been like 5th or 6th in last year's draft.
Right.
Not a
Or
strong quarterback class.
Even Beck from Georgia, who's coming off an injury, and he's not bad. But yeah, these guys are, like you said, in comparison to this year's draft class, those guys are at the bottom.
Name to keep in mind. Already on the Jets roster. He was like the 5th round pick, Jordan Travis out of Florida State.
Yeah.
Last year at Florida State undefeated, suffered a catastrophic leg injury.
Yeah.
He's on the team, has been playing, still recovering. Give this kid a shot.
Yeah, at this point, what the hell?
Wide receiver Garrett Wilson seems to be unhappy with his role in the offense as he feels he has been underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
He's been targeted the 4th most in the league. Only Malik Neighbors, CeeDee Lamb, and Jamar Chase have been targeted more times.
It seems like when he was talking about his frustration, it was more of like, yeah, I'm getting the ball thrown to me, but I'm getting either their hospital balls. Like, I'm not being the center point of the offense the way I feel I should, especially when you have Adams on the other side.
Exactly. He's more concerned with the quality, not necessarily the quantity.
Yep.
And let's face it, since they got Devontae Adams, him and Rodgers are basically joined at the hip.
Yeah, and
It's going to be his first.
they have absolutely shown up the last couple of weeks. That connection is back.
And getting back to Aaron Rodgers, he's still up there stat-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, your main thing is you want to win. That's the bottom line. But stat-wise, I think he is like neck and neck with like Josh Allen for most yardage in passing. They're like 11th and 12th.
Yes,
around there.
and I mean, in the last 3 games, he has 5 touchdowns versus 2 interceptions, maybe.
Something like
He's
that.
only throwing 6 picks the whole season, and it's not
Just their inopportune time.
right. That's you can throw as few as you want, but if you throw them to seal your fate at the game, they are really important.
Then you got running back Breece Hall. 994 yards rushing, 591 yards receiving last year. Production has dipped dramatically. This year he has 310 yards rushing, 204 yards receiving. That's only about a third of what he did last season. His carries are down this year, but not as much as you would think. Last year he had 223 carries for the season. This year, with 2 games to go, he projected to have 213. So it's not like they're not giving him the ball either.
Right.
That's 213 carries, and that's with missing a game with
Right.
an injury. Free agent addition, defensive end, Hassan Reddick. Double-digit sacks the 2 previous years in Philadelphia. Ended his holdout October 20th. Played the last 8 games for the Jets. Has a grand total of 9 tackles and 1/2 of a sack. Not even one.
Got to
just
get the
1/2.
0.5 in there.
Right. Oh, hey.
Hey.
Big news on the injury front is on the offensive line. First-round pick, left tackle Olu Fashanu.
Ah, yes.
He was starting in place of the injured Tyron Smith. He was placed on season-ending IR Tuesday with a foot injury. Leaves the left tackle position to third-stringer Max Mitchell. Rest of the offense comes in healthy, although wide receiver Devontae Adams, questionable with a hip injury, but he is expected to play.
As I say, it's trending that way.
And then you got 6 starters on the D listed as questionable, including Reddick, Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams. They're all expected to play as well.
They said this morning on the pregame show, the pre-pregame show, Gardner was out warming up, and he was out there for a very long time. They said generally the longer a player is out there warming up when they're testing, the longer is usually means there's less odds that they play. So he was out there for 45 minutes this morning, stretching and trying to see if he's able to go, probably to the limit.
What is the injury?
I do believe it is a knee. I can't say for a fact, though. I didn't write it down.
Right here. Maybe. Not for a fact.
Maybe here, maybe there.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the Jets kicking carousel.
Yeah.
That comes full circle today. They have cycled through 4 kickers this season, going a cumulative 19 for 27 on field goal attempts, 25 for 28 on extra points. Greg Zuerlein, who started the season, comes off the IR list after missing last 7 games. In case you're wondering, he is 9 for 15 on field goal attempts, success rate of 60%. Of all kickers this year who have played 8 games or more, dead last.
Yeah, I was to say that can't be up there.
And we're going to finish off that it's not all bad for the Jets. 3 players could get some milestones today.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers needs 1 touchdown pass to become the 5th player in NFL history to have 500 career touchdown passes. The other 4 being Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre.
Good company.
Garrett Wilson needs 13 receiving yards to go over 1,000 yards for the 3rd year in a row. And Devontae Adams needs 72 yards receiving for his 4th straight 1,000-yard year and 6th in his past 7.
And that's after missing a game or two with the Raiders. And I mean,
When he had don't want to play for the Raiders-itis.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, what was his hamstring was connected to the money bone? All right, Jimmer.
That's
thank
all you got with the Jets.
All right.
That's enough.
So for the Let's Mess with Jimmer stat moment, we're
right.
going to bring on our good friend. Before we bring on Double A, we want to bring on our good friend Little Chili.
Hey, Little Chili.
Lily Chili's in the
Hey,
house,
hey, hey.
everybody.
Little Chili.
Hey, Little Chili. Hi. All right, Jimmer. We're
Yes.
talking about milestones,
Okay.
and we talk about like team leaders. You know, the Jets have this long storied history of a bunch of stars here and there. This is interesting because there were some people on here I didn't know. I got all-time leaders for the Jets in passing, rushing, and receiving.
Okay.
And I got the top 3 in each category. We'll start off with rushing. Can you
Freeman McNeil.
number 2?
Oh, number 2.
That is awesome. Freeman McNeil's a great name. Back to good names.
That was during the Esiason era.
Late 90s,
late-
early 2000s.
I remember him.
Okay, if it's not Freeman McNeil, it's got to be Curtis Martin.
Curtis Martin's number 1.
Yeah.
And then another great name at number 3. This guy's from the 60s.
Emerson Boozer.
Emerson Boozer. Wow, he's
Number
good.
32.
Curtis Martin spent half of his career with New England and half with you guys.
2 with New England, the rest with the
With the
Jets.
Jets,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I thought he was with New
I
England
thought
longer.
longer,
Yeah. Let's go receiving. Now the top 2. You being a Jets fan, I've never heard of these guys. The third guy I've heard of.
Don Maynard,
Number 1.
Hall of Fame Don Maynard.
Number 2.
Wesley Walker,
God. Number 3.
Altoon,
Wayne Corbett.
Wayne Quebec. Okay.
But not by much. But yeah, Wesley. Well, the first 2 I didn't. No. All right.
I liked Corbett. He was fun.
No gloves.
Yeah.
He was always a joy.
And Walker, I think, averaged over 20 yards a catch for his career.
Wow. Holy smokes. There's guys who don't do. I mean, what? Justin Jefferson or Chase maybe might be close. QBs.
Namath,
Number 1.
Ken O'Brien,
Number 2.
Chad Pennington,
No.
Richard Todd.
Dick Todd. Number 3. Awesome. That was amazing. All right, Aaron.
Sounds like he knows his team.
Yeah. All right, Aaron. Real quick to show how much we don't know our team.
All right.
Bills. And I wrote them down, but I can forget them just as easily as I remembered them. Receiving. Number 1 for the Bills all time.
Reed,
Reed.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Lofton,
Eric Molds.
Molds.
Number 3. Now,
It's not Lofton.
no. More recently, but not as recent.
Lee Evans.
Fearless Price? What-
Lee
what'd you say?
Evans.
Lee Evans.
Oh, Evans. Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
what number 4 is?
Mhm.
Diggs.
Oh, no. Oh,
I
yeah.
believe
No, I
that.
did know that.
Yeah.
Believe
Yeah,
that.
because that
Yeah.
happened last year. Yeah.
Russian.
Thomas,
Thomas 1.
OJ,
OJ 2.
Jackson,
Joe Cribs.
Fred. Yep. Fred.
Fred Jackson.
Then Joe Cribs. You know who's 5th? Josh Allen.
Oh,
Okay.
That is awesome.
yes.
Passing.
Josh didn't pass him yet, right? It's
No.
It's got to be Kelly.
Kelly,
Yep. Number 2.
Ferguson,
Yep. Number 3.
Dan Allen.
Then Allen. Allen is still 9,000 yards behind Jim Kelly.
Oh, so 3 years.
Yeah. And 60 and he's got 60 games to do it. So that kind of checks out.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after Allen was
Dennis Shaw.
Jack Kemp and then Fitzy.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So no, this is cool to touch on that. How much can you really remember? I mean, the fact that Allen is 5th on the rushing list and he's gonna catch OJ with touchdowns and all sorts of crap is stupid. That guy's just
He's going to lead.
amazing
He's going to
player.
lead.
He just needs one double homicide to tie OJ.
Allegedly. I mean, only proven in civil court.
Of course.
Jeez.
He's got a long way to go on the receiving yards, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but receiving touchdowns,
Or
he has
receiving touchdown, he's got one.
He's got more than guys in the practice squad I've ever had. Oh, weird thing to note, too. We didn't even mention it. Talking about Devontae Adams coming to the Jets. It's the same day Amari Cooper came to the Bills.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And Cooper's missed a couple games, but Cooper when he got here, was never going to be the focal point as much as Adams is going to be the focal point with the
I'm
Jets.
pretty sure that they were waiting to make that move as soon as the Adams thing
Yeah.
happened. They're like, okay,
Yeah, because he just fell right after within
Yep.
hours, it
Yep.
seemed like.
Well, sweet.
okay.
Thank you, Little Chili.
Thanks, Little Chili, everybody. Little Chili. And now it's time for Q&A with Dubla.
Oh, hey guys. Nice to see you again.
Hey,
Sorry I wasn't here last week.
that's okay.
That's okay. It's a long season.
Sometimes I just choose family over friends, and I apologize.
I don't see why. But
You'll learn.
Yeah, one day.
Sorry, Mom.
All right. They're not watching. All right. So what I would like to do today is I would like to talk about the underwhelming performance teams because we're playing the Jets. I figured it was a theme.
got it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a team that's underperformed, and I want you to tell me whether they should fire or change QB, change coach, change both, or come on, Aaron, they're fine.
Okay, I like this.
All right, so let's start with the Bengals because they might actually still make the playoffs, but they're underperforming.
Come on, they're fine.
Come on, they're fine. They just got to spruce up the defense a little.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's been on a tear, 250 yards and 3 touchdowns in like 8 straight games.
Yep. Yeah, he's averaging like 276 passing. It's insane.
All right, how about the Dolphins?
Ooh, I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that they need to take a hard look at coaching. McDaniel is 3-13 against teams with a winning record.
Yes. 3-13, and perennially they never beat a team when they go play in cold weather. That's perennially too.
Yeah.
That's
Or
farm coaching.
winning record teams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the talent is absolutely there. I think if Tua is healthy, he's really good.
That's
Something's wrong though. Like something is up for them not to perform as well. And I think it might. If I'm going to pick anything out of the crowd, I'd say first I'd start with McDaniel.
okay. How about Arizona?
I actually think they're fine.
They just hired this new coach. It's in his second year.
Yep.
Say give him at least 3 years.
Yeah.
And this quarterback has now had how many head coaches in his
3.
5-year career?
Yeah.
He's had 3 coaches.
So no
Try to
continuity.
keep some continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I want to say
I would
like,
say they're fine, but I'd say keep them as is.
they do have talent though. I mean, Murray, Connor, Harrison Jr. I mean, they got offense. Their defense is a little shady. So shore that up. I think they can be a playoff team.
All right. How about the Colts?
Continuity at quarterback. If Taylor has a good year like what she's had recently, I think their defense is okay. Get continuity at one position, and I think they can be a playoff team. And that division is so soft.
So are you saying replace the quarterback?
I'm saying get stronger competition. Joe Flacco is about 1,000 years old. They trot him out every now and then. But if they had somebody, if they drafted another quarterback, say 3rd, 4th round pick,
Sure.
bring them in here, have them over Richardson's shoulder. Just kind of, hey, get your act together.
So maybe
be
quarterback is
consistent.
the answer.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Push them a little bit more.
All right. Well, how about the 49ers?
Boy,
I say they're fine. I say injuries derailed them this year.
I think
Say they're fine.
if one person I will push on that is John Lynch. You need we said it all year. They're too top heavy. They need better depth, and that's the GM's job is to get you better depth. And if it's anybody, I think it's John Lynch who needs a shove in the back a little bit and say you need to shore up everybody, behind everybody else. They don't have the money.
What? And do they have to pay the quarterback this next
No,
year?
he's got one more year.
So he's got one more year to kind of figure that out.
Right? Yeah, you're paying that guy $984,000 again.
All right. How about the Carolina Panthers?
Blow it up. Bryce Young's showing some improvement. I don't think he is a long-term answer for you at quarterback. They've been terrible for how many years now?
Yeah,
I don't even know the status of how long this coach has been there. But
Pretty new.
Yeah.
I think last year actually. Is it Steichen?
Is it? Yeah. Hey, you're right.
nope.
Yeah, I think I'm going. I mean, I
All
think,
right. That contradicts them when I say blow it up. If he's only been there for a year, I
Give
say
him
keep him for another
one
couple
more.
years. Give him, give
Because
him
you
a
got to
shot.
give him 3, right?
That's what I say,
Isn't
yeah.
that the rule? Like you got to
Yeah.
give guys.
It's my rule, damn it.
they're not without talent. They're just not good.
All right, how about the Saints?
Well, yeah, do something. They
Yeah.
gotta find. They have
gotta
to
get
find a long-term solution at quarterback. They have to.
Derek Carr is not it.
No.
And
So maybe it is quarterback. You start there
Yeah,
with them.
start-
anyway.
start with
get
quarterback.
a long-term solution at quarterback.
All right, how about the Bears?
Oof. I don't know. That seems like a mismanaged team. Caleb Williams needs help coaching wise.
Yeah, Caleb Williams needs help. That's another one where I think the coach, this is only his second year or so. No?
They just fired their coach.
First year. Okay, well,
They just fired
They were coach.
This is an interim coach.
Yeah, now there's an interim. Yes.
We'll find a good, solid head coach.
Yeah.
Who, I don't know, but
Right, yeah. Where are you going to get it from?
The old Tennessee Titans coach. Very.
Vrabel, he's going to be, I think he has a head coaching job next
You
year.
think that's where he's going? That's yeah.
Either way, like I think that guy has he's going to be a head coach next year. I'm surprised he wasn't this year. I'm still surprised Tennessee let him go.
All right. How about the Giants?
blow them up. Blow them up.
Blow it up. They just said this morning that Shane and Dable are not a package deal when it comes to reforming the team. So if they might keep Shane and get rid of Dable, or vice versa. They said that this morning. They might be worse off than almost any other. They're so talent depleted. They're just so bad.
Well, and they went all in on a quarterback who is.
That's
They
just
let Saquon Barkley go to sign Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
and now Daniel Jones is not even on the team anymore.
yeah, that's ridiculous. So that blow it. The Giants need real help.
All right. How about the Cowboys?
Fire Mark McCarthy.
Yeah, fire the coach. I say leave Prescott. They just need something to get them back.
Better
up to-
organization.
They need a shot in the hip, and McCarthy is not the guy to do it. They have talent. They have great talent, offensively and defensively. They're multifaceted with good high level talent on both sides of the ball, and they just screw it up.
Yep.
How about Titans?
Another one.
Yeah.
Now, coach, new coach,
New coach. Give him Will Levis. Pull the plug.
quarterback.
He's
so
terrible.
Continuity at quarterback, consistent play at quarterback is definitely their Achilles heel this year.
You think draft a quarterback or try to get a
I would draft one.
retread?
I'd go both.
Yeah. Yep. There's enough out there. There's enough talent, like we said, on the back end of quarterbacks that you can sign one. Quarterback class isn't that good, but you got to get somebody in there and freaking try it. Look at Bo Nix. You didn't think Bo Nix was drafted probably too high, and he's outperforming everybody.
Right.
This one's interesting. How about the Jaguars?
Unfortunately, I think it's Doug Peterson because I think Trevor Lawrence
Peterson's got to go.
is real talent.
He's been underwhelming, though. He's not, for a first overall pick, he's played like a journeyman.
Yeah.
Granted, does he have the greatest talent around him? Not necessarily, but still.
They did, and they shouldn't have let Calvin Ridley go.
Right.
He was good for Lawrence, but I think it's the coach, that one for sure. Well, that starts there.
All right, how about the Browns?
But push him into Lake Erie. Push him into
Definitely
Lake Erie.
quarterback. Get rid of all that.
I get it. You can go in front.
Just make sure you wave. Coach, he had him in the playoffs last year. I say keep the coach.
Yeah, I don't think
Was he actually coach of the year?
I think he's been twice on 2 different occasions.
Yeah, I'm fine with the coach.
Yeah.
I think the core it starts and ends there. Their defense was also supposed to be all world this year. They haven't been, but it doesn't help when you're getting pressured. You know, you're on the field as long as they are. They have no help offensively to give them rest.
All right, how about the Patriots?
I think now we're talking about the 3-year thing.
Yeah.
Mayo seemed like that's a situation where I think Mayo has pushed himself out. Drake May's going to be. I think Drake May's going to be really
gonna
good.
be a decent quarterback. Mayo will last the season, and then let's see how he does going into next season. I could see him not surviving the 3
He definitely
years.
doesn't look ready.
No, and for being a guy who was a good player on a great team, he just seems to not understand the team. He's not that far removed from playing, but he definitely has a way about him where he kind of I think he alienates his own players immediately.
I have the feeling that he was a great leader in the locker room,
Yeah.
but outside the locker room, he doesn't see it the same way.
No. Yeah, it's different when you're rah-rahing the guys that you're playing next to, but when you're coaching the guys, I think it's a different attitude. And he's said a lot of questionable things after games that if I'm a player on the team, I'm going, has that coach even got my back? Like, thanks for nothing.
Plus, he's sniping at like Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Keep that behind the doors.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, so obviously I had to save this one for last. The Jets.
Well, they already fired the GM, already fired the head coach.
Uh-huh. What about that quarterback?
Quarterback? Like I said before, who are you going to get? Plus, if they cut him, that's $49 million in dead cap space. Do I necessarily want him there next year? No, but I think probably be best to have him there, bring in a young quarterback, and then coach-wise, Vrabel or Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
What do you think? Now, do you believe Rodgers when he says he is open to mentoring?
Not
a young
necessarily.
quarterback? I don't know if I
Nah.
trust anything he says.
All right. You want some jokes?
Sure.
All right. Why are friends like snow?
It gets hot, they melt away.
If you pee on them, they disappear.
Words to live by.
Josh, I hope you're taking note of good jokes over here.
All right. And one more. What do you call a cheap circumcision?
Oh no!
A ripoff.
Oh yes, that is terrible. I'm gonna cringe all day. All right, let's pick some games. Time for quick picks.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, quick picks.
So this week we've already had Kansas City win. We've had Baltimore win 31-2, which is not the first time 31-2 has ever
Not
been
a
final score.
scoregami?
Not a scoregami. And then yesterday we saw the Chargers decimate the Patriots. We saw Cincinnati and
Really good game, Denver.
Denver was, especially late in the year, against one team that was in a playoff spot, one team fighting for sleep. Very, very great game. Good game. Last night we saw the Rams,
decent game, low scoring, but
Beat the
came
Car-
down to the wire.
but they are like on their carving their own path into
Yes.
the playoffs. The Rams, I'll have you know, the Rams scored 44 points against the Bills. Okay.
Mhm.
The last 3 games, cumulative score, not 44 points.
Mhm.
And they've won all 3 games.
Mhm.
So the Rams are doing it kind of every which way. Good for them.
Yep.
Whatever.
Josh says we were so close to a tie yesterday.
Yes, we were. We were. He called it. He called me and said the game was going to be a tie. So with that being said, Sunday, it's kind of a light slate. We only have 2 4:00 games, the 8 o'clock game tonight, the Monday night game tomorrow. What do we got here? 2, 4, 5, 1 o'clock, 6 1 o'clock games. So let's start off with, there's some real bangers on this list.
Yeah.
Vegas at the Saints.
Saints are getting 2. Raiders first round pick tight end Brock Bowers already set the record for receptions with a rookie tight end with 101. Needs 10 yards to set the rookie tight end yardage record held by Mike Ditka from 61, but Ditka did it in 14 games.
Well, of course.
Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara out. ESPN.com says receiver Chris Olave was out, but on Good Morning or whatever ESPN's show
Oh,
is
yeah,
on
Countdown
the crawl said he was questionable. Even still, starting quarterback, top running back, top wide receiver out, and only a 2-point underdog.
Oh, my God. Yeah. That's how bad Vegas is.
So, yeah, I'm going New Orleans. Why not? They're at home.
I think it's a tie.
That's fine. I'll take New Orleans at home because I like New Orleans. You know, I like the place and everything.
Oh, the
Um,
city.
Yeah. Well, the stadium too. All of it was cool, and it smelled like pee, but that's fine. Once I had a lot of friends or snow. Indy at the Giants. Interesting game. Like Indy somehow still has a lot to play
Still
for.
alive. Giants getting 7.5. Game at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where the Giants and Jets play their home games. Pop quiz. Who was won at MetLife Stadium most recently? The New York Giants or the New York Rangers?
What? The Rangers in the outdoor last year?
Rangers won 6-5 over the Islanders on February 18th, while the Giants won Week 18 of last season, which was January 17th.
Oh my
over
God.
Philly.
That's awesome.
The next win might be the Rangers also.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson out, Joe Flacco in at quarterback. Indy 6-1 outright and against the spread against teams with losing records. Give me the Colts.
Yeah.
They have something to play for.
Flacco plays well enough usually, and I think Taylor just needs like 100 yards to get like a gigantic bonus. So
Yeah.
And he's on a heater.
yeah.
Taylor's on a real heater.
Yep.
As long as he doesn't drop the ball before the end zone.
Right.
Yeah, Indy. Okay. Dallas at Philadelphia.
All right.
I want that to be a good game, but it's not going to be.
Preseason, it should be slated as a good game.
Philadelphia is giving 7.5. Jalen Hurts out with a concussion.
Kenny Pickett?
Kenny Pickett in, but he does have rib issues. He left the game last week. If he gets banged up, it's rookie Tanner McKee at quarterback.
Tanner.
Dallas is 4-1 against the spread their last 5. Philadelphia wins NFC East with a win or a Washington loss. I say Philly wins, but it's close.
Running back. Who gives a F? what the quarterback is.
Saquon
Barkley is going to run all over them. Book it.
So is Philly going to win?
We booked it, man. It's our first booking of the season.
Like Pizza Hut. I don't think so, and I don't think Barkley's going to break Dickerson's record either.
Okay.
I don't. He had 19 yards last week in the second half of a game that they end up losing. He had 36 yards and 19 carries. I mean, props to Washington's defense, but all right, Barkley, you've been doing it.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Cowboys defense.
Yeah, I don't see it happen. I think Philly wins close. Barkley, no. Boy, I'm going to be proven so wrong. Tampa Bay, way to lose the game last week. Yeah, that was tough. And it really made things interesting. Carolina at Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay is giving 9. Carolina 6-0 against the spread. Their last 6 is an underdog. 6-1 against the spread. Their last 7 overall. Tampa Bay is fighting for a playoff spot. Tampa Bay, another close one.
The Panthers have been playing better.
Although
Frisky?
Chuba Hubbard is out. Yes.
That's one of the reasons they were playing better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the Buccaneers just have too much firepower, even without some of their wide receivers.
Yeah, right.
They still got enough to juice to just. They're gonna outscore them.
Carolina really disappointed me against the Cowboys last week. We picked them as frisky guys, and they
got decimated.
Yeah. Tampa Bay, though, tough loss for them last week. Open up things in the NFC South between them and Atlanta somehow. Yeah, it's interesting. But, yeah, go Bakers. Tennessee at Jackson. Why?
This is the first time I ever saw this season game as a pick.
Yesterday was
No favorite.
one of the games yesterday had no line. I don't remember which one. Maybe.
Well, anyways, this is the first time I'm live in the alley.
Yeah, all right. I'm just thinking, I'm talking out loud. I'm like, I thought one of them. Either way.
Tennessee has turned the ball over 9 times in the last 8 quarters. Jaguars have a takeaway in 5 straight games, but on the season they only have 8, which is lowest in the league. I'll shoot for the tie, man. Why not?
Yep.
I mean,
It's a good game.
On the app that I'm looking at, they've got Titans with a -1, which is, like you said, basically a pick 'em. Jaguars are home.
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
going with what betting is saying, I'm going to go with what they think is going to be the win, and I'm going to go Titans.
Okay.
I have no other reason at all to pick that.
Jacksonville at home. I don't know. People in the hot tub. All right, 4:00 slate. Miami at Cleveland. Yikes, Rooney.
Tua is officially listed as doubtful, but he's not playing. Tyler Huntley would start. Browns 4-11 against the spread this season. Oh, I'm sorry. Cleveland is getting 3.5. Browns 4-11 against the spread this season. 1-6 against the spread their past 7. 0-4 against the spread their past 4. Give me the Dolphins even without Tua.
Yeah.
And
Who's the
it's not
quarterback?
cold weather. Cold.
Is it Skyler?
Skylar Thompson is for Dolphins?
I had Tyler Huntley.
Oh, Tyler Huntley. That's
Huntley.
right. Tyler Huntley. 'Cause,
and
yes,
then,
was
and then who
next
did
on
the
the depth
Browns
chart.
have?
Dorian DRT?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
DTR, whatever his name is.
Not exactly a classic matchup.
Dorian Thomas and Robinson.
All right.
Should have been good in preseason.
I don't even want to pick it.
Okay.
Just throw it right in. Let's put it in
Push
Lake Erie.
it in Lake
Just
Erie.
put it in here.
Yeah, Miami probably. Game of the day possibly. Green Bay at Minnesota. This means this says a lot. Yeah, we got a good one.
Hey,
Yeah.
something to give a crap about.
Yep.
Minnesota's giving 1. Sam Darnold looking to become first quarterback ever to win 14 games in his first season with the new team. Minnesota has covered their last 3 games, but Green Bay has covered their last 4. I'm going Green Bay. I think Green Bay's been hot recently. Ready to do it.
If this was in Green Bay, I'm definitely picking Green Bay. But it's in Minnesota. I'm going Minnesota.
I got the same exact sentiment. If it's in Green Bay, they're hot enough to do fine.
Yep.
But Minnesota at home, that might be the toughest place to play in the league right now, is in Minnesota.
And those wide receivers in that dome,
Yeah.
they catch everything.
They go off.
Everything.
It's well lit.
Yes.
Minnesota. All right. Tonight's game, Atlanta at Washington. More fun to be had there.
Washington giving 3.5. Michael Penix Jr., who replaced Kirk Cousin as Atlanta's starting quarterback, looking to become first quarterback in Falcons history to win his first 2 consecutive starts. Washington clinches a playoff spot with a win or a Tampa Bay loss. Washington is in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, seeing the rookie play is going to be fun. Actually, both rookies.
Yeah, absolutely.
But obviously, the Commanders have the more complete team,
Yeah.
And so I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, I'm going to go Washington too at home. Dave, don't worry. We're cooking here. We're getting close. I'm going to go Washington at home. They're fun. They had a wild win against Philly last week. Atlanta, it's spicy with Penix in there.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy
Wild
found out.
card. Wild card.
The guy found out he was starting last week while he was ordering a hot dog at Costco. Like, it's so great. He said he wasn't, once he got the call, he didn't want the hot dog anymore. He wasn't hungry. Tomorrow night, Detroit at Niners. Once again, another game preseason scheduling wise.
So good.
Yahoo, baby.
Rematch of last year's NFC Championship.
Yep.
Niners getting 3.5. Lions 7-0 on the road this season. However, they've lost their last 14 straight times in San Francisco.
Wow.
Detroit is 9-2 outright and 8-3 against the spread in primetime games under head coach Dan Campbell. Once again, Detroit has more to play for.
Yeah.
Even with banged up defense.
Especially with the 1 seed possibly coming down in next week's matchup with Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on how Green Bay, Minnesota goes
They
today.
definitely have to win this.
Yeah.
Just to keep up.
Yep.
And I don't know. Last week it looked like the 49ers kind of just checked out.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we get the same kind of effort this week.
The case, same kind of vibe. I think I'm not gonna say Shanahan's lost the team, but they are. When he seems like that kind of guy. When they're out, they're done. Like we're out.
Yep.
I'll go Detroit. Ooh, how did this sneak in there? Wednesday night, Notre Dame, Georgia. Georgia -1.5.
Carson Beck not playing.
Not playing.
Notre Dame's been on a tear. It's at Georgia. I'm going to say Georgia like 24, 21, 22, something like that.
Okay.
Georgia only loses to Michigan. No, to
Alabama.
Alabama.
That's Ohio State.
Yes, Ohio State only listens to Michigan. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not picking it.
Notre Dame by 3. Easy peasy. Oh, quick note. The preseason, AFC East projected that was going to be the team with 3 teams in the playoffs. Bills, Jets, Dolphins. Whoever won the division, it wasn't going to be the Bills. Remember that.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't going to be the Bills. It was either be the Jets or the Dolphins in a
Definitely not New England.
wild turn of events. Now, Denver just needs to win next week to complete this. But if I had told you it's going to be the AFC
South.
West
Yeah,
Yeah.
West, yeah.
that has 3 teams in the playoffs, being Denver, the Chargers, and the Chiefs, obviously, I just said, no, Denver, one of those 2 teams.
The only one that I'm not thinking is Denver. Like the Chargers, I could easily see,
Yeah.
but Denver, nope, not at the beginning of the season.
Harbaugh's doing a hell of a job in
Yep.
LA, too.
Yes.
I mean, he's got Herbert on the right. They run the ball a lot, but they've got Herbert comfortable.
His career most passing yardage, 5th-year quarterback ever.
Yep. Passes. Was it Marino was on that list? Like, it was a hefty list.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing the AFC West, I said, no way. It'll be the AFC East. We're all going to be good. Yep.
It's actually fun because Roman is not just running the ball;
No.
he has an actual passing scheme.
Legitimate.
It's pretty good.
And the running backs are great out of the backfield
Yes.
for the Chargers. And they have a couple good receivers. McConkey is, what a lad.
Man, I,
mean,
wanted
he's-
him.
He went in
what
for
a
the
lad. Hey.
He went for the trifecta yesterday, almost got it. Almost had 3 touchdowns. So they're spicy. It's fun.
He was the receiver I wanted.
Yeah.
I like Coleman, but man, I love that. I love his game.
He's a year 1 now guy.
Mhm.
Yep. Finally, 1 o'clock coming up here soon.
Very soon.
Oh, crap. Jets at Bills.
Bills giving 10, our biggest spread of the day. I've
Means
seen,
nothing with the Bills, by the way. Double-digit
right.
spreads mean nothing.
I've seen how this goes. Jets are going to have like a 12-7 lead, 2 touchdowns, 2 missed extra points. Bills are going to block a punt for a touchdown. They're going to Aaron Rodgers will fumble through the end zone, something like that. It's going to end up Bills 31-15.
I like that. I don't know if any of the things that you said that are going to happen, but the score sounds perfect.
All right.
I will take 31-15.
I think the Bills get back on the 30-point track today, even if it doesn't mean that the Jets also don't score 30,
Yes.
just because the Bills' defense has been suspect in the past. They have been. Run and the pass, it seems to flip-flop. But I think the Bills come out, they know they need to have a strong showing, and I think that's kind of like both Allen and McDermott keeps everything close to the vest. Made a comment about keeping things tight before the playoffs, but still knowing you got to win to get that second seed.
Yep.
And use next week as your bye week. I think that is too important to the Bills
Yes.
to not throw it all out there today.
Yep.
I'm going Bills 35, Jets 2.
Awesome.
Good enough.
Another safety game.
All right.
Go Bills.